Chag Sameach, have a special Yom Kippur to everybody. I want to talk today about Yom Kippur and what it means for us. So in a way, Yom Kippur is a bit dull and boring because it comes along every year, and every year we do the same thing. And every year we say, well, I hope I'll be better next year. Hashem, please pay attention to me. And the problem is, in a certain way, every year we believe that a little less because, well, for better or worse, for all the terrible things we did before last Yom Kippur, Hashem saw fit to say, let us stay around. Okay, there are a few things that were a bit annoying. We had various issues, personal, family, health, whatever, business. That it's almost like rather than Hashem feeling we really deserved anything terrible, Hashem just felt we needed a tiny little bit of a flick on the ear or something. So I want to talk about how we're going to make Yom Kippur in that way more meaningful. So the question is, if Hashem really wanted us to get a terrible punishment we've done, what would that mean to us? And I'm going to ask that because we do see people who have bad things happen to them. And, it's possible that they have some terrible thing they've done that makes them deserve it. But in most cases, we actually feel that that's not the case at all. They didn't deserve it at all. And so instead of looking at Hashem consigning us to terrible purgatory, which nobody here has really merited to have. We've all had decent lives. We've all had small failures which we've moderated with successes in order for things to move along. We have to look at a different way of concept of what it is we're really going for, what we're really asking Hashem for. When we talk about life and death, life does not mean that we will be alive. Life means that we will appreciate. Life means that we will have other people around us who we can appreciate it with. And in a way then, our perspective changes in two ways. The first way change is it's not just on us. Because my desire to be around next Yom Kippur by myself is very little. Because, okay, I don't want to not be around, but I intend to spend next Yom Kippur and the year up to it with people I know and love and people I haven't met yet. But rather, it's for what I want and what I really appreciate. What I really want to appreciate are the people around me and the people I work with, the people I spend time with. This is what I really want to have around me, and this is what really means life. And this is more important when we talk about the concept of the Book of Life as an eternal thing, is that it's about everyone you're with and everybody you're around. So on this point, when we talk about how it is we're going to try and be a better person for Yom Kippur, so it's easy to look around and read the papers about somebody who committed some terrible crime, stole a lot of money, hurt a lot of people, committed some other act of vice where they gave in to their desires with drugs or alcohol or sex or whatever awful things they wanted to do. But instead, most of us who are not falling over with all of these terrible acts of revenge, what is it we're going to do to really make ourselves deserving of the Book of Life? And on that point, I have to state, we have to look at those around us. Our life is inscribed by those people continuing. And say, how am I going to act around those people? And really, if our life is defined as being by the people we're around, and the special people we spend time with, I have to ask everyone to think. Every time you see a person like that, who matters to you, think about what you can do to ensure that you only make them know how much they matter to you. And this is difficult for all of us. Literally, you want to tell them off for something they did wrong yesterday, they annoyed you. But instead to say, my path to the Book of Life is with my friends and family and colleagues. And therefore, what I want more than anything else is to have my friends and family and colleagues think happy thoughts every time they see me. That's real life. So as such, perhaps that's what I inspire everyone to do, to try and think of how every time they meet someone that they know and love, that they'll always start with a happy thought. They'll always start with a happy smile. They'll always bring them together. And similarly, when you leave them, and you say goodbye to go away for 5 minutes or for the rest of the night or the rest of the year, you similarly say goodbye with a happy face. and say goodbye with a happy thought. And this way you'll be inscribed in the book of life. Because every time you see one of these lovely people, or every time you see something one of these lovely people is doing, you'll know that their last thoughts about you were happy, and your last thoughts about them were happy. And that's the real way to be inscribed into the book of life and to be a better person for next year. Shabbat Shalom. Chag Sameach, Tzom Kal, and I love you all.